Namaskar, my name is Karuna Venkatesh and you're watching Constitution of India Decoded at Tarkwad. In our last video, we explored the soul of our nation, the preamble. It begins with the powerful words, "We the people of India." But a nation is defined not just by its people, but also by its land. So, the very first part of our constitution, even before the rights of the people or the powers of the government, does a crucial thing. It defines the map of India. Welcome to part 1, the Union and its territory. Part 1 may be short, with only 4 articles, but its implications are monumental. It deals with the most fundamental question of all: what is the territory of India and who has the power to change it? Let's begin with the cornerstone, Article 1. This article makes a profound declaration. It says, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. Let's unpack this carefully. First, it gives our nation two official names, India and Bharat. Second, and most importantly, it calls India a union of states. Why a union and not a federation? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar explained this was deliberate. It signifies that the Indian Union is not a result of an agreement between states, and no state has the right to secede from it. The union is indestructible. Now, what is this union? Article 1 categorizes the territory of India into 3 parts. First, the territories of the states. Second, the union territories. And third, any territories that India may acquire in the future. This shows the foresight of our framers, who anticipated that the map could evolve. This brings us to the next logical question. How does this map evolve? The answer lies in the incredible power granted by Article 2 and Article 3. Article 2 is a broad power. It allows Parliament to admit new states into the Union or to establish new states. This could be by admitting areas that were not previously a part of India. But Article 3 is where the real power lies, and it's unique to the Indian Constitution. It empowers Parliament to reorganize the existing territory of India. It means Parliament can form a new state by separating territory from an existing state, increase or decrease the area of any state, alter the boundaries of any state, or even change the name of a state. The most important thing to note here is that this power lies primarily with the Union Parliament, not the state legislatures. A state's views will be considered, but its consent is not required for Parliament to pass such a law. This establishes the strong, unitary character of our federal structure. Finally, Article 4 is a procedural safeguard. It states that any law made under Article 2 or Article 3 does not need to be treated as a constitutional amendment under Article 368. A simple majority in Parliament is sufficient. This makes the process of altering the map of India relatively flexible, a feature that allows for the linguistic reorganization of states in the 1950s and the creation of new states like Telangana in 2014. So to summarize, Part 1 of the Constitution does 3 powerful things. It defines India as an indestructible union of states. It lists what constitutes its territory, and it gives unprecedented power to Parliament to reshape the territory to meet the nation's evolving needs. It is the constitutional foundation upon which the physical map of our nation is drawn and redrawn. If you found this explanation clear and insightful, please support us by liking this video, subscribing to Tarkwad, and hitting the bell icon. Do share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay informed and stay decoded. Namaskar.